Classic Car and Driver, a flashback to the archives and the machines of our automotive past.
There are some interesting times recorded in these pages, times when the horsepower fanatics got control and turned something really wild loose among the public. One of those times was the mid-1980s, when the Buick Regal changed from being the car for the parson's wife into the quickest ride on the streets as the Grand National and the GNX. In 1987, Buick introduced the GNX, calling on its muscle car history from the former GSX in the early 70s. To make a new muscle car, they started out with a top-of-the-line Grand National. The GNX came with every option except T-tops or a sunroof, options that reduce structural integrity. Buick then sent the car to ASC McLaren, where they added 16-inch wheels and fender flares to accommodate the bigger meets. The GNX also got fender vents to help cool the engine compartment, and it came in any color you wanted as long as it was black. All black. Very black. On the inside, the GNX displayed its production number on a plaque mounted on the glove box, and there's enough room for the driver and 3 of his enthusiast friends. The dash has a full array of Stewart Warner gauges, and the power is transferred through a 4-speed automatic. But to be a muscle car, the GNX needed big power, and the days of monster cubic-inch motors were over.
The 70s strangled horsepower out of the big displacement engines, and turbocharging emerged with Buick in this kind of car as a way to get back to the horsepower that the enthusiasts love.
Under the hood is a V6, just 3.8 liters, but it was force-fed to 16 PSI by an intercooled turbo.
Standard Grand National standard horsepower rating was 245 horsepower. This one was rated at 276 from the factory, but most of the testing done on it was closer to the 300 level.
300 horses gave the GNX a 0 to 60 time of 4.6 seconds. The GNX package was offered as an option on the Grand National at a staggering price, $11,000 over the $18,000 sticker of the Grand National. A big sticker was not the only drawback to the GNX. It was one of the fastest cars of the day in a straight line. But even with an upgraded suspension, the GNX was not a great handler. But in 1987, the editors agreed it was unlike anything else on the road, writing, "In a world of sleek shapes and refined manners, the GNX is an axe-wielding barbarian, laying waste to everything in its path." In '87, the GNX was the fastest car you could buy from GM. But that was a problem.
This, of course, is one of the great no-nos of GM, is to have something that's faster than Corvette.
But the Corvette wouldn't have to wait long to be GM's King of the Hill once again. After only 547 were made, the GNX disappeared as the Buick image was redirected to plush comfort for senior citizens, leaving the GNX in the hands of a few collectors. But the amazing engine in the baddest, blackest Buick ever still had high-performance work ahead.
It ended up in the 25th anniversary Trans Am in a special run of cars. It ended up in the Cyclone and the Typhoon. And then GM kind of switched over to supercharging. But today, basically the evolution of that engine is the 3800 and still powers a whole bunch of GM sedans, and in supercharged form is still seen in Buicks and still seen in Pontiacs.
The GNX might have lasted only 1 year, but the power it created proved there can be a replacement for displacement. A solution that foretold the future while making the GNX classic car and driver.